What up, True Crime fam? So today we got Explore with us. Roadside rescue ends in horrific murder plot.
Dang.
Y'all, get ready. Get your snacks.
Know.
Get your dinner. Get your blanket. Get whatever you need to get. Cause
phone down.
Yeah, we about to go ahead and start watching this.
About to get crazy.
Let's get into it.
On September 9th, 2016, following a 911 call that abruptly cut off just as a woman was screaming for help, two deputies from Royce City, Texas head to a rural road where they find a hysterical woman desperately trying to get aid. The following report is based on official police records, and some of the footage has never been seen before until now.
What's going on?
My husband, he went to go help me. My Jeep is stuck around the corner, and he's been shot. Is that right, please?
Oh.
He's around the corner.
Direct.
The guy took me. I don't have it. He's not on my phone. I don't have anything.
Direct. Have a seat.
Please.
Stay here.
Please. No, please go around. It's got fire. Please no. Please.
You call some more backup in it?
Please go.
She said he's down here. He got shot in the head. Our Jeep is stuck down there.
Damn, this is the other keep me helping.
The deputy rushes to investigate the situation, updating his partner as he makes his way down the road. The woman, on the other hand, is left secured in the vehicle.
Please tell me something.
Sound like a setup or something, right?
Please.
Soon more officials
Dude,
begin
that
to
sounds
arrive,
crazy.
including
Seems
an
like a
ambulance.
Please go back there. Please go get him. Please go get him. Please. No, is he okay? I had blood on my hand. I had blood on my hands and I ran. That's all I did. I don't have my phone. I don't have anything. Please let him be okay. I can't do this all by myself.
As the woman continues to panic in the back of the police vehicle, the deputy fills the arriving officials in on the situation.
Out there. He's sitting in the middle of the road in a real nice Jeep, vehicle running, head down. Okay. Looks like he's got a wad shotgun
Damn.
up in the side of his head, like with close contact wound, but there's no burn. There's no gun.
There's
sir.
no gun.
I don't know if you guys want to look at it. I don't know. Well, have you seen her yet? Well, I'm going to want to talk to her, so.
The ambulance is brought back up the road, notably without the woman's husband inside.
Where are they going? Where are they going? Where are they going?
She's then brought to the ambulance to be checked out, and is soon joined by Officer Meek, who will begin the arduous process of detangling the complicated story of what actually happened on that dark, rural road.
I want to know.
It's not as now, man.
Hello. You're 100% over here on the monitor. You're looking for that. You want a little bit of oxygen to help you out?
Did she do something?
I want to. Hey.
Well, I got to get some information from you real quick, okay? Listen to me real quick. Let these guys do what they need to do, but you listen to me, all right? Just 1 second. What I need you to do is in through your nose, out through your mouth. Slow your breathing down. Concentrate on that. So when you listen to him, when he's talking to you, the whole time I want you to think slow in through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm going to give you a little oxygen. Calm yourself down. It's going to...
After some deep breaths, the woman reveals that her name is Chacey Pointer. After being read her Miranda rights, she agrees to speak.
Tell us what happened.
I was driving from Quinlan.
What were you driving?
My Jeep.
Okay.
And I was gonna be my husband at the doctor's box. And when he texted me, I told him I was 3 miles away.
Yeah, slow down.
When he texted me, I came around the curve and I went off the road. And I called him to let him know what happened. When I was on the phone with him, he said, I don't think I can make it down the road. So we walked up here and we walked back to my Jeep.
So the gray truck right here, who's that?
That's his truck.
That's his truck.
He came Jeep out, and I was sitting right at the back of it, and I went to go get, and I heard a shot, and the Jeep started rolling, and I didn't see anything, and I saw a shadow. That's all I saw. And when I walked up to him, I yelled his name, and I just felt something on me. I ran. I didn't know what else to do, and I dropped my phone. There's where I don't know how my phone is.
Okay. That's all right. Calm down. Breathe slow.
I'm trying.
So was anyone else out there with you?
No, I was out there by myself. I
No.
didn't tell him.
Was it your husband? What's his name?
Robert Pointer.
Robert Pointer?
Yeah, he's a firefighter. I didn't mean to come down this road. I was good on the other road.
Uh-huh.
And I missed it. So I just took the next thing, and I was looking at my map. It's the only thing.
You were looking at the map and what? You were looking at the map and what? Just breathe for me, okay?
That's why I have to
Just breathe for me.
That's why I have to explode on me.
Do you have the mud on you because y'all were trying to get the Jeep
No,
unstuck?
I fell when I was running up here.
Okay.
While the EMTs check out Chacey, Officer Meek takes a few photos for evidence. During this process, she realizes something else is amiss.
Hold your hands together just like that, palm straight down. There you go.
My wedding ring is gone.
Okay, hold on just a second.
Chacey's rambling story will eventually become clearer, but it will also change frequently, leaving investigators with a complicated task of working out the truth. After being cleared by paramedics, Chacey exits the ambulance and is escorted back to the police vehicle.
I just sore.
What are you sore from?
This plot.
From falling, I fell.
While you're running?
Chacey claims that after she heard a shot and saw her husband slumped over in the driver's seat of her Jeep, she ran and tripped, falling in a mud puddle. She believes this is where her wedding ring, shoes, and phone were. It's also why she abruptly hung up when calling 911. She claims that she couldn't find the phone after she fell. Chacey then gives the investigator some background information about her marriage to Robert, who is 18 years her senior.
We've been having problems, and he's contacted an attorney to get a divorce, and I was okay with that.
Here we
We've been
go.
married.
Now we about to get somewhere, probably.
Yeah, now we
this,
get. You say contact
you
attorney
return
to
it,
get a divorce,
and all this
and
going
all of a sudden,
you so acting like you so concerned with this and that happening.
and hyperventilating. I don't know. Maybe she could be hyperventilating for real, but. You saw how the ambulance guy was just sitting back.
Yeah, the one in the back.
I was
sitting
like
there just
looking at him too, cause he was just doing like this, like.
Probably can read it like you lying. But let's see.
We'll find out though.
Let's see.
And I was okay with that. We've been married 6 years, almost 7 years. And he said that he wasn't gonna throw my stuff out anymore. He just wanted me to come home, and I told him that was fine. He said he didn't want to get divorced, and I told him I didn't want to either. I love him. He's a pain in the, but I love him.
The officer asks where she'd been coming from before her Jeep got stuck in the ditch, and she called Robert to help her move it. Chacey says she'd been at a friend's house, but there's more to this story than she admits at first.
Whose house was that?
Michael Garza. Michael Garza.
Michael Garza?
Yeah.
Okay. How long you known him?
For I don't know, 4 or 5 months.
4 or 5 months?
Come on.
Is he like a boyfriend or just friend or?
He was letting me. He told me that I could stay at his house because he's not ever there. And
How old is he? How old's Michael Garza?
I don't. He's in his 30s.
In his 30s?
Yeah. I don't know a whole lot about him.
This claim about Michael Garza is just the tip of the iceberg, as investigators will soon realize. As the crime scene is locked down, Chacey is transported to the police station to give her statement about the horrific events of the night.
Okay.
Yeah, my feet are hurt from being breastfed.
Let me get this door. There you go.
Just after 2 a.m., Chacey is brought into an interrogation room, and it's here that the real work of uncovering the twisted truth begins.
I'll sit right here in this great chair for me. I understand that Officer Meek read you the Miranda rights and everything out there in the field. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never been in a situation before, so I don't know if it's best if I give an attorney or not.
Okay. Well, you're not under arrest.
Okay.
Okay. You're not free to leave because we're still trying to figure out what all happened. But you're not under arrest.
Okay.
Chacey is left alone for a few minutes, and she seems to finally take a look at the mud and blood covering her arms. When the detective returns, Chacey begins to tell him about the problem she was having with Robert. She claims it first came to a head about 2.5 years ago.
What did those issues kind of consist of?
He became real violent towards me.
Okay.
There was a couple of times that he broke one of my phones in half. He would go through the phone bill and just call a bunch of numbers. I have a business on the side where I make cakes, and he would call everybody that was on the phone bill to see who they were.
As it turns out, Robert had actually filed for divorce previously, 2.5 years ago. The couple decided to split up, and Chacey moved out of the house to live with her mom. The problem was, the divorce papers stipulated that she couldn't take her daughter with her. This was one of the reasons the couple decided to reconcile, because Chacey didn't want to leave her daughter. According to Chacey, after getting back together, their relationship had been fine until recently, when Robert filed for divorce again. The couple's 6-year-old daughter had actually come up earlier that night when Chacey was talking to Officer Meek in the back of the police vehicle.
The last couple of days we've been fighting.
Okay. What do y'all fight over?
See?
Anything. He could be my daughter. He's trying to take my daughter away from me. And
Now he's not
telling me
alive.
he knows the loopholes. She's the only kid I could ever have. And she's everything to me.
Right.
My daughter's my world.
Why would your husband be trying to take your daughter from you, though? Like, what reason did he
Because
give you?
he knows that that's what's going to hurt me the most. And he knows that's what's going to make me stay.
Despite claiming that her daughter was her world, Chacey had no idea where her daughter was when she made that statement. She'd left her with some of Michael Garza's friends, who were currently trying to find her in order to return her daughter. Earlier that evening, the friends had actually driven to Chacey and Robert's house, but found it empty. As they were returning home, they saw the commotion of emergency lights around the crime scene and decided to stop and speak to police. Chacey's daughter is in the back of their vehicle as they discuss Michael Garza and Chacey with Officer Meek.
Yeah, they were supposed to be going on a date. I was
See?
watching the daughter.
Is that why you kept her?
Yeah, that's why I have her.
Okay.
And she was like, because she tried to get me to drop her off at somebody's house down the street, and I was like, I'm not doing
No,
that.
that's good. You did good.
Police soon contacted Chacey's mom and stepdad to come and pick up their granddaughter.
Hello. Lieutenant Harper? Officer Meek. We got your granddaughter up here in the suburban here. This was the babysitter. Hey, let's step up here out of the road. All right, here's the they were babysitting your granddaughter today, okay? Because your daughter, your daughter had them babysit their daughter so she could go spend the evening with a boyfriend, and that's what we got right now. But so your granddaughter's fine. We just need somebody to take custody of the granddaughter because your daughter's actually being detained right now for our investigation. I can't tell you anything else about the investigation. All I can tell you is she is being detained at this time.
Tell us if she's physically okay.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Has there been an accident?
I can't tell you anything else. All I can tell you is she's perfectly fine breathing and everything, talking to us and everything, but she's being detained at this time for our investigation.
It's her spouse, Robert.
I can't give you any other
I
information.
wonder how
about
they can't give the information about that.
That's kind of uncomfortable, officer.
it. I understand that.
Yeah.
Desperate for answers, they begin quizzing Michael's friends about the situation.
I don't know anything about what's going on, except I was asking her what's daughter for how many days. What's my daughter? Like, Mikey's daughter? I don't know who Mikey's daughter is. What do we do from here?
Just go home, and then whenever everything's figured out, then we'll make phone calls, or she'll be able to make phone calls, or whatever else here in a few minutes. But right now, it's an active investigation, so I can't tell you anything else.
Chacey's mom and stepdad will eventually speak to her, but for now, they take her 6-year-old daughter home with them. Back in her interrogation, Chacey explains that because there were problems in her relationship with Robert again, She'd started talking to Michael Garza, who she met on Facebook. This is only a partial truth.
I met Michael Garcia through Facebook.
Michael Garcia?
Garza, sorry.
Okay.
I don't know why I always do that. We were just friends. That's it. Robert knows that I was seeing somebody he doesn't know who.
While she's now claiming that her and Michael Garza were mostly just friends. She said something very different about them hanging out earlier this evening while she was at the crime scene.
Did y'all, like, have a date? Was it date night?
No, we just hung out. We had sex, honestly.
Okay. Well, not obviously. I'm asking
Right.
I need you to tell me.
What?
Yes.
So y'all had sex,
Yes.
and how long were you over there?
2 hours.
2 hours? Have y'all ever had sex prior to this?
Yes. What's before?
Where at?
In the truck.
So my thing is, I didn't stop it. Why did you call your husband to come help you out? Why didn't you call your
That's
boyfriend?
like kind of like a setup kind of type.
Yeah.
And she don't know how to act now that it don't happen. Or she trying to throw her
Because remember
act.
she said her Jeep got stuck.
Yeah.
And she called her husband to come
Like,
help
set
her.
up. And you could have called Mike.
Right. It just doesn't make no sense.
Y'all ever had sex prior to this?
Yes. What's before?
Where at?
In the truck.
In his truck?
Yes.
And so now y'all had sexual relations twice. Tonight
Yes.
being the second time,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And your husband wasn't aware of any of this?
No.
Okay.
In interrogation, Chacey shares an anecdote about what sparked one of her and Robert's recent fights.
And he kept asking me who came to the house, and I kept telling him I didn't know who came to the house. I received a text message probably about 2 weeks ago from a number, and I didn't know who it was. And I told Robert about it. I sent him screenshots, and so it kind of sparked a little argument. And he kept telling me that if I didn't tell him who it was, that he was going to kick me out.
While Chacey doesn't reveal the significance of this seemingly offhand story, it will later become crucial to understanding what was really going on.
I had a past, he has hit me over the years, not like constantly, but there's been occasions, whether he gets mad at his ex-wife and
Trying to bring all that up.
it taken out on me, but I never pressed charges because I didn't want him to lose his job.
Okay.
And his job is really important now.
Though Chacey mentions Robert's ex-wife Amy, she doesn't go into detail about the turbulence between the two of them. Robert and Amy had been married for 20 years, but divorced when she discovered he was cheating on her with Chacey. Back in her interrogation, Chacey explains that she and Robert had been fighting for a few days, including the night before Robert was shot.
I got home and Robert just kept calling me names.
Okay.
He kept telling me that I was he just felt like I was and all these other things. And I told him, I said, you're being a right now. I said, I'm not going to sit here and listen to it. I said, I'm just going to go. I said, I don't care if I have to go get a hotel room or if I have to go to my mom's. I said, but I'm not going to listen to it. And I started putting my scrubs in my bag, and he told me that if I left, not to come back.
Despite this, Chacey had returned to the house later that night, and by Friday morning, the day Robert was shot, their turbulent relationship took another turn just as she was leaving for work.
But as I was walking out, he said, I hope you know that I still love you, and I still want you here. So I asked him if we could talk today.
While Chacey says that she and Robert had planned to talk about how they would stay together, she told other people something quite different. Michael's friends, who'd been taking care of Chacey's daughter the night Robert was shot, later spoke with police. What they shared opposed Chacey's claim.
And she told him that she was going to go meet up with her husband because he finally said that he would sign divorce papers.
While Chacey fully admits to spending time with Michael Garza before meeting up with her husband, when asked about who she was texting and calling while at Michael's house, she leaves out crucial details about a third man, one which complicates this story even further.
Damn.
So you never spoke to anybody, you never called anybody, you never texted anybody other than Robert?
I was texting my friend Brad. He asked how it was going, and I think I said, oh, it's going. Like,
What is your relationship with Brad?
we're
Yeah.
just friends.
And how long have you known Brad?
Probably since I was 17. No, I was younger than that.
Okay.
He's a friend of my dad's.
Okay. Have you ever been intimate with Brad?
No.
Okay, so you've never had sex with Brad in any
No.
way? Okay.
Brad eventually came in to speak with police, and what he revealed flipped everything Chacey just claimed
Didn't
on
mess
its head.
around.
The two had started talking on Facebook around May 2016, about 5 months earlier. This means that her relationship with Brad overlapped with the one she had with Michael. Unlike what she told Michael, though, Chacey had claimed to Brad that she'd been divorced since 2014.
Oh my God.
I was with
girl.
Chacey
She messy.
at least 6 days a week, probably 7.
Damn.
Now, when you say with Chacey, was it just a hangout, or was that for sex, or?
Well, it was a lot of it was for sex.
It's clear that Chacey is leaving out a lot about her
She
relationship
sure
with
is.
Her
Brad,
daddy?
begging the question, what else is she not being honest about? Brad will eventually reveal even more of Chacey's secrets, including a twisted plan for the night Robert was shot. He's also not the only person to come forward about her illicit love life. For now, though, the detective speaking
Damn,
with
for
Chacey
now.
asks her to go over Robert's shooting again. She repeats the same story she already told officers at the scene. This detective, however, isn't buying it.
I'm having a hard time with the fact that somebody with you being 5 feet away would shoot your husband
And
and then just not even would let you
You know
in
what
the
I'm saying?
vehicle, not mess with you at all.
No, but
Right.
that's what I'm telling you. When I was trying to get away, there was someone standing right there, and they were coming up to me. But I just kept on running.
you can't
How
lie.
close
Yeah.
are they standing to the vehicle?
What?
I don't know. When I
Okay, you're saying that there's somebody there, and obviously they're close enough to shoot your husband.
I didn't see anybody standing there.
Earlier, though, when talking to Officer Meade, Chacey had claimed that she actually did see
I
something.
like this.
remember what she
So
said.
you were
it.
on
There was a man. There was a man.
See,
There was a man?
Yes, yes.
Did you see what the man was
No,
wearing?
his dark. No, my headlights were shining. He was wearing dark clothes. He wasn't as tall as you. I know this.
Here's the problem with this, okay? From what you're saying, the blood splatter on your arm, the description that you're giving, it doesn't add up.
I didn't shoot my husband.
I'm not saying you did.
see,
See why
I'm
you
just saying that you might be more involved in
that
what's going
guiltiness?
on.
I don't know how.
You keep talking about how you want to protect your daughter, abuse your daughter. Playing this role is not going to help you.
I'm not playing any role. That's the thing.
Look, your story does not add
It ain't
up to
adding
the
up.
evidence that's there.
Okay, but I feel like I'm being backed in the corner. And I haven't done anything.
I'm not saying you have. I'm just saying your story doesn't add up. There needs to be more information, and you're not providing it.
I don't know what.
The streak right there in your arm is a blood splatter. Okay, you see how it splatters up your arm.
Yes,
Close, right?
That is not
I was not next to him. I was not next to him. When I touched him, I had blood running down my arm, and then I fell into a mud puddle.
That's obvious. I'm not denying that. We found your phone in the water. I believe that happened.
I don't know
I'm
what
not
else.
denying that. Here's my thing. You're saying that somebody just randomly killed your husband out in the middle of the field,
right.
All that mess you got
who
going
then
on.
allows you to get into this vehicle,
And leave.
stop the vehicle, touch your husband, allow you to run past this guy, and never bother you. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
It seems that investigators had their suspicions about Chacey from the first moment they saw Robert's body, as the responding deputy's dash cam audio reveals.
That's why I secured her. I got the doors locked and everything. Somebody get her out.
Chacey also didn't help diminish any suspicion when Officer Meade came to speak with her while she was sitting in the back of a police vehicle at the crime scene.
Hey, Miss Pointer, I got some forms here to read and fill out, if you will, okay? Basically, what they are, they're consent to searches, so basically saying that we're allowed to look at your phone and look in your purse and look at your residence and that kind of stuff, okay?
Okay.
All right?
Do I need an attorney or anything? I mean, am I in trouble?
I've read you your rights, and you understood your rights, correct?
Yeah.
Okay? And if you would like to speak to an attorney, that's totally up to you.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know.
No, it's fine. Listen to me. Would you like me to read you your rights again?
No, I heard you first. But
Okay.
I don't know. I've never been in trouble before.
No, and I'm not saying you're in trouble.
I don't know.
Make no mistake.
I don't know.
We're doing an investigation right now because we're trying to find out what happened. That's all we're doing, okay?
That's fine.
So you tell me. Are you willing to fill my paperwork out or no? Yes or no? It's up to you.
That's fine. I don't know. I don't know if it's. I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I don't have anything to hide.
Okay.
After a bit more hesitation, Chacey signed the consent form. However, despite her claim, she had a lot to hide, though she denied it while in interrogation.
I don't know what else you want to tell you. I'm
I
telling
want
you
the
the truth.
truth. I want her
I'm
to pull
telling
the
you,
trigger.
I don't know who pulled the trigger.
See, I think you do, and that's the problem.
No, I don't. I don't know what else you want me to tell you.
I want you to tell me the truth.
I'm telling you the truth. I don't know who pulled the trigger. I don't know anything.
Look, the way your husband was killed, somebody was right next to him.
I wasn't right next to him.
You were within 5 feet of where he died.
I wasn't right next to him.
Your own admission of where you were standing, you were within 5 feet of this man being murdered, and you're saying you didn't see anything, you didn't see anybody standing there.
No.
I don't buy it. I think you're full of crap. I want you to tell me the truth. I want you to tell me who pulled the trigger.
I don't
would
know.
believe you if you said you didn't pull the trigger.
I didn't.
I would. But I want to know who did. And I do not believe you that you do not know.
I don't know. I
I
don't
think you're
know.
full of crap.
I don't know who pulled the trigger. I really don't know. I don't know. I don't. I did not kill my husband. I don't know who killed my husband. I don't know. I don't want him dead. I don't. I wanted our family to be normal again.
You mess with other
That's
people
all
like
I
that?
wanted. I don't know who pulled the trigger. I really don't.
Okay, I don't believe you.
Yeah,
And
me
it's that
neither.
simple.
The detective then begins to develop a theory, asking Chacey if she ever vented to Michael Garza about her problems with Robert.
Sure she
admits that she did.
He knows he's hit me before because he saw the bruises on my arms, and that was probably a week or two ago. I've got bruises on the back of my legs. I've got random bruises from Robert. He could just be home grabbing me. He's done this to me for 7 years. There's been times that he will get upset and he'll grab me by the hair and he'll slam my head against the window. I don't know why. I know I can be a pill to deal with, and I know that.
Michael wasn't the only man Chacey made these kinds of allegations to. She also made similar claims to Brad, the other man she was seeing.
She told me that he would drag her around. I asked her over and over and over. I said, "Why don't you go to the police, Chacey?" And she would tell me that he would kill her.
Along with this, Chacey had also told Brad about an incident with Robert, one that casts a different light on the current situation.
I think he told her before she pointed a gun at him. Maybe she pointed a gun at him that time. I think she said he told her that something about they'll carry her out in a body bag, and Chacey told me that she told him, no, they'll carry you out in a body bag.
While she hasn't admitted to it, Chacey has been keeping another secret. She wasn't just cheating on Robert with Michael and Brad, but also a third man named Sean.
God
Just like
damn.
the other, she told him about her alleged issues
What
with
in the
Robert.
hell?
Chacey had met Sean at a firefighter event before they started talking on Facebook. He eventually came forward and spoke with police, claiming that he and Chacey had been seeing each other for around 7 months, from September 2015 to July 2016.
They've been a firefighter.
This time period overlapped with her relationships with both Brad and Michael.
She told me on a couple of occasions that he, would put hands on her or, threaten her. Threaten to divorce her and take her kid and everything, stuff like that. But, she basically painted him to be a monster. Well, she had said that a day or so before, he had grabbed her and was physical with her, and there wouldn't be anything. No finger marks on the arm, nothing around the throat, nothing.
Just like with Brad, Chacey had made a concerning comment to Sean.
There were times that she would say, she wished she died in the fire or stuff like that, and, I just kind of blew it off.
In her interrogation, the detective continues to try and pry the truth from Chacey.
So let me ask you this: so was this something set up that Mikey had done to get him out of the way so y'all could be together?
No.
Was this something that he had done to, I guess, retaliate to protect you? I guess Robert.
That I don't know. That I really don't know. I at one point I told him, I said, I don't have any way out. I'm just gonna throw my hands up and just stay with him. I told him this a couple days ago. I told him I've been with him for almost 7 years. What's the rest of the time until
he was older. And he said, you shouldn't have to live like that. He would tell me he was going to come over and basically just beat him up, is what he was telling me.
He was.
Yes. And I kept telling him, there's no need for that. It's fine. I can handle on my own. And I kept telling him, I don't want you involved. That's what I told him.
I can't believe nothing she say no more.
So here's what I think happened. I think Mikey's involved in this. Okay, and I'd even go so far as to say that you probably didn't have any knowledge of his actions. Okay.
Well, I would hope to God. I would have hoped to God that he wouldn't have done that. I mean, he knew that Robert and I were having problems. He knew that I wanted to try to work things out. And just like tonight.
Yeah. Well, so that's part of the problem. You say you wanted to work things out.
You still messing with
him
him
tonight, even though you wanted to work things out. You probably told him you loved him. He already told you within 3 months that he loved you, which is pretty quick.
Yes.
I'd say that,
he told me that.
Obsession. He's already said that he would do violent things for you. I believe that you saw Mikey do this, you panicked, and that's the way you went, which is why you are unscathed in this. Somebody that just cold-blooded murders somebody, okay, does not let another witness just leave.
I didn't see anybody, but if I had to guess from things that he said to me before, I would say it was him.
That's not good enough.
He has
good enough.
made comments to me about family and friends.
That's not good enough. You're 5 feet away. 5 feet. You're just table leg distance away. Somebody taking the shotgun, he's pushing it right up against your husband's head. Boom!
No.
Boom! And you're telling me you see nothing?
Right.
You see nothing.
There was nobody standing next to him. Nobody standing next to him. There was nobody standing next to him.
Following this confrontation, Chacey's story changes dramatically.
Don't lie to me. You're going to take a fall for this. You're never going to see your daughter again. Okay? All because you're trying to protect somebody else.
He did it.
You saw it.
I didn't see him.
Then how do you know he did it?
Come on!
Girl!
I did.
Huh?
He had a box of gloves sitting on his kitchen table. A box of rubber gloves. He had a camo shirt sitting there next to it. He had a camo gun. I don't know what it was. I don't know anything. There was a trash bag sitting next to it.
She now adds another element, notably something she hasn't mentioned until now.
He has told me that his family was part of the Mexican mafia.
Who did?
Michael.
Okay.
And that he could make people disappear.
So Mikey told you that he could make people disappear?
Yeah.
And what did you say to that?
I told him that that's not what I wanted.
Somewhat unsurprisingly, this new version contradicts something Chacey said earlier about Michael while sitting in the back of a police cruiser at the crime scene.
Did you ever make any type of threats towards your husband or anything like that?
No. Nothing.
Now, though, Chacey is painting a very different picture of Michael.
And I kept telling him that I felt like if I got too far into this and I did something to piss him off, that I was going to be the one to disappear. And I even said that to him tonight. Because he kept saying, I don't want him hitting you.
No, I think you're just trying to get me to shut up.
Yeah, you're trying
to. You think I want to hear?
Crazy work.
I don't know if he did it though.
Okay.
But from what he had sitting around the table and the comments that he kept making, that's what I was going for. I told him, I said I was going to go to dinner with Robert, and he kept saying, well, if I find out where you're at, I'm going to show up. And he said if I see him kiss you, he said, I'm going to cut his lips off.
When did he say this?
This was tonight.
Getting Michael's side of the story, though, was about to prove harder than expected. Later on, the same day as Chacey's interview, investigators decide to raid Michael's house with Texas Rangers and Rockwall SWAT after hearing that he'd returned there sometime after Robert's death.
Dang.
Despite the effort, there's no sign of Michael inside the residence or in his truck.
Here's some more camo and black clothing.
Why would you have a camera system and it facing the wall?
I don't know.
Unless you have someone here you didn't want people to see?
Yeah.
The hunt for Michael will continue, so for now, investigators make do with Chacey's version of events. After a quick trip to the bathroom, the detective continues questioning Chacey, and it seems like the break gave her time to think, because when they start up again, she has an entirely new series of events to share, now claiming that she actually did see Michael standing at the side of the
Jeep. Yeah, she had to
Jeep.
think about what she
when I took off running,
Lock her up.
when I took off running,
Mike, you push you?
he pushed me down, and that's when I dropped my phone. And my phone is right in front of me, and the screen was lit up. I don't know how y'all can do it. If y'all can, the call was ended. He picked up my phone, he ended the call, and he threw it down in front of me, and I was on my hands and knees in the mud, and I couldn't find it.
Though she'd been claiming up until now that she dropped her phone in the mud puddle, causing the 911 call to end, when authorities first arrived, Chacey slipped up.
The guy took his hand on my phone.
Does this slip-up indicate that she's now finally telling the truth about what happened to her phone, and Michael took it from her? Or is this all still an elaborate lie?
I didn't want him dead. There was,
But you just didn't want him, you didn't want to be with him anymore.
No, I wanted to. I wanted us to work things out.
Despite this claim, Chacey had slipped up again while at the crime scene.
So your husband knew Mr. Garza?
No. And that's why we've been having problems. I didn't want to be married anymore.
Chacey's text messages also reveal another side to her story. When texting Sean, the third man she was seeing, about hers and Robert's relationship, Chacey wrote, "I only have one way out of this, and it's not going to happen anytime soon. And I hate him so much, more than I've ever hated anything in my life." If that wasn't clear enough, she also told him that I would be better off with him gone. Benefits and can't lose custody.
See?
Chacey's lies continue to pile up, and there are still many more to be exposed. After hearing her latest story, the detective leaves Chacey alone again.
Take his face off my head.
Here's what I want you to do, okay? I want you to write out everything that happened tonight, okay? Everything that's pertinent information, okay? I want you to take your time. I want you to write it out. And remember, if you lie on here, it's against the law, okay? Charge could come to you if you lie, okay? Just know this is also your opportunity that after we talk to Mikey and he tries to throw you under the bus, and I guarantee you he will, this is your one opportunity to get all the truth out there.
After filling out 5 pages for her statement, the officer reviews it and then confronts Chacey with what he's discovered while he was out of the room, catching her in yet another lie. The area where she said her vehicle had become stuck didn't have any trees big enough for it to be trapped.
A four-wheel drive Jeep like that would not
Ain't
get
getting
stuck.
stuck,
You're
yeah.
saying it got stuck.
No, I wasn't telling him I was stuck. I told him that I went off the road. And that's what I called to tell him.
This is another direct contradiction to what Chacey said at the scene.
Where was it stuck? In the front, in the rear, the side?
It was in the front.
Okay.
There's a branch, and I couldn't get it to back up over it.
Okay.
And it was hung, and there was tree branches on the inside.
Was it across the road or was it
No,
on the side?
it's in the ditch. I went off into the ditch.
Okay.
All I can see is
You haven't seemed upset. You haven't. I don't know. It's almost been like just a blank slate, like almost like you prepared for this.
Hearing this and perhaps realizing that she isn't going to be able to sell this story, Chacey once again adjusts the details, now saying that when Robert threatened to kick her out of the house, she asked Michael what they could do, and she claims he said he would have someone kill him, or he would do it.
the last thing he told me was, if I do this, you're going to be right there and you're going to watch it. And I told him I didn't want to. First he told me that he wanted me to meet him in Dallas to talk. And he kept saying that he wanted me to bring him as far into Dallas as I could, because he wanted to make it look like a robbery.
According to Chacey's latest version, Michael had planned to burn Robert's truck and the clothes he was wearing in order to cover up the evidence. However, that didn't happen, and so they went with a new plan. Chacey admits that she drove down the rural road, went into the ditch, and called Robert to come to the spot where Michael told her to stop. Now that she finally seems to be closer to the truth, Chacey goes over the shooting once again.
Robert had bad mom. I'm not a bad mom.
Even though it seems like Chacey has finally begun to divulge the truth, there's another element that she has withheld from all versions of her story. When Brad came to speak with detectives, he revealed that around the time of the shooting, he was actually in contact with Chacey.
Whenever I said I talked to Chacey about 10 o'clock at night.
Damn.
There's not obvious of murder. She told me she's at the hospital.
Chacey made the call to 911 at 10:48 p.m., meaning that Chacey was on the phone with Brad just before the shooting. To explain the time she was spending with Robert or one of the other men she was seeing, Chacey had told Brad that her grandfather was sick and was visiting him in the hospital.
Was she a liar, boy?
She even told him that he passed away that evening.
I even got messages showing she was.
She even. Oh, that girl is sick. Yeah. Just go ahead and
give her man. She need the max time too.
She even told him that he'd passed away that evening.
I even got messages showing she was on her way to my house back whenever all this went down, but I thought she was leaving the hospital.
Brad now suspects that Chacey had planned for him to be her alibi for the time of Robert's shooting, as she was supposed to stay the night with him. For now, the detective makes do with the current story he has from Chacey.
We're gonna do this again. Okay? Write out everything that happened in this time, everything that you told me. Okay? When I was talking about the emotions, this is one of the emotions that I think you're truly being sincere about.
You made me feel all the time. But when he wasn't being he pushed me to be a better person.
Chacey is left alone to once again write up a new statement.
Yeah, just stop all
During
that
this
crying.
interview, Brad posited a theory that Chacey may have had ulterior motives when telling him about Robert allegedly hurting her.
Why would she show me this gun where? Why would she be telling me that he was abusive and this and that? I mean, either he was, or she was trying to get me to say, I'll help you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Brad would eventually share one more shocking story. The day after Chacey's interview, investigators are still looking for Michael and decide to speak with his mother and brother.
We've got to make contact with him, okay? And the longer it goes, the more the hunt intensifies, if you will. You understand what I'm saying?
We have every intention that will present himself to the police station.
I know, but listen to me. I'd like it to occur tonight, like just within the next few hours. If y'all could get it to do it, we can promise his safety as long as he acts right. No harm will come to him. I can promise you that.
We're after is for him to go in there, and then I don't know. I don't know much. I don't know like the whole picture of the story. I know I didn't raise a boy that is evil like that.
Though Michael's family was sure he would turn himself in, he didn't. And so investigators continued their search for him. Chacey was left alone once she finished writing up her newest statement. But she will soon be joined by someone who throws a wrench in her allegations about Robert. Until then, it seems that Chacey has finally realized her lies have come crashing down around her.
Come on, man.
She can't keep up with him.
Too much going on.
I'm so tired. I just want to stop beating up on me.
Chacey is eventually joined by her mother and her stepdad.
Can you tell us?
The truth. And it's being recorded. Robert and I have been having problems again. And he said he's gonna kick me out. That he's gonna take from me again. I talked to Robert yesterday. I know. No. But he's still pushing me around. He's not pushing you around, Chase. Mama, you don't live there. You're not gonna yell at me, Chase. I'm not.
Chacey's own mother isn't the only one who has reservations about her claim that Robert hurt her.
Yeah.
Chacey and Robert's neighbor later spoke with police, and she claimed to have spent a lot of time with the couple.
Well, I look at this and I look at, how she says that he was beating her and she just wanted him to be hurt. And I'm like, no, there's no way. There's no way. And all the times that we sat there, never once did she ever say anything to me about you know, he's abusive or he did this, never saw any bruises, never, I mean, they seem to be this happy
She
couple.
never shied away if you lifted his arm or
Oh,
anything like
never.
that.
Robert's ex-wife Amy also has her doubts about Chacey's allegations.
Did you ever see him get physically abusive with her?
No. He stood there, and anytime we saw that she would lose it, he just stood there and took it, you know, because he was a big man. So, I mean, it didn't really faze him, you know.
Okay. Was he ever physically abusive to you?
No. Never. If he got upset about something, he was more inclined to be quiet about, you know, and then bring it up later, at a later time. But no, he never was abusive, never, I don't even remember him ever yelling or anything like that.
Robert's daughter Nicole also shared a story about a fight she witnessed between Chacey and Robert, casting further uncertainty on Chacey's claims.
They got into an argument, Dad and Chacey did, and she threw herself into a wall and said, was trying to act like he was the one hurting her. Like, I visually watched her throw herself into the wall and then start yelling about Robert, stop it. And he was like, what are you talking about? And it was very confusing.
Back in the interrogation room, Chacey attempts to plead with her mother and stepdad.
I didn't want him to kill him. I just wanted
Stop it.
Let's stop all that hyperventilating
I
bullshit.
just wanted him
Yes.
to scare oh no.
She just wanted Michael Garza to scare Robert.
Stop it. You're hurting me.
Oh, you want to go out?
He's been lying.
Can we get no back out, please?
I yelled at him and I told him not to. I told him not to. And I don't know if he did it. I told him not to.
After Chacey's mom leaves the room, her stepdad attempts to get Chacey to see the big picture.
I need you to calm down so you don't physically get a heart attack or a stroke, okay? What's done is done. Now we got to try and work our way through the details and see what to do next.
Okay. Give her ass jail time.
There's nothing I or your mother can do for you right now, okay? We will. We know we will. You don't have to worry about that. We haven't told her anything. Okay?
After taking some time to calm herself down, Chacey's mother returns.
You need to take care of yourself, Chacey. Well, y'all need to do that for a guy.
It's like her mom knows.
Mm-hmm.
Though she's repeated her story countless times by now,
Mom probably
when
knew he
speaking
wasn't
with
like
her
that.
mom, Chacey adds a new detail, this time about the location of her wedding ring.
You don't have any shoes or anything? My shoes are gone. He has my wedding ring. Who? My cousin, wedding ring. Why? My earrings and my wedding ring.
There seems to be a pattern for her. This is another departure from what Chacey claimed earlier.
Mm-hmm.
My wedding ring is in that puddle.
Okay.
My wedding ring is in that puddle.
There's still one more element of this twisted story. Though Chacey had concocted an intricate web of lies, everything had started to fall apart in recent weeks. Just under 2 weeks before Robert's death, Brad decided to go to Chacey's house when she wasn't answering her phone. He'd been to the house many times before, and Chacey told him that she lived there alone with her daughter. He claimed to have never seen any sign of Robert until that night.
She answers the door in kind of a frantic way and is pushing me down the sidewalk. Like, opens the door, answers the door, and just kind of like shoving me back. She said, Brad, he's here. Just get on going. I said, Chacey, easy. I said, don't worry about whatever. She said, no, get going, Brad. He'll kill you or whatever. That's what she told me.
Earlier in her interrogation, Chacey made an offhand comment about Robert wondering who had come to the house. It seems that the person he was inquiring about had been Brad.
And he kept asking me who came to the house, and I kept telling him I didn't know who came to the house.
Despite Chacey's denials, it seems that Robert suspected Chacey was seeing other men. He'd even installed a security system inside the home to try and catch her. Robert's daughter actually spoke to him a few hours before his death, confirming that he planned to leave and take his and Chacey's daughter with him.
He was complaining, kind of, about her and how I guess the marriage was not really a marriage anymore. Like, she didn't sleep in the same bedroom, and you know, it wasn't sunshine and rainbows.
Sure.
And he said she was kind of nuts. And then he also told me that he was supposed to meet her that night so they could try to work things out, like, you know, because he wanted a divorce, and he was going to try and take.
In the interrogation room, Chacey's mother struggles to come to terms with what her daughter has done.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's that bad. Why couldn't you come to us?
No.
I can't. Chacey, I love you, but I can't.
Mama Candy.
Keep killing our Robert, Chacey. Keep killing our Robert.
You see, they love it.
I never knew he wasn't like that. It was her. She just talked to him.
I love you.
After her mother leaves, Chacey once again breaks down in tears, but she isn't left alone for long.
Chacey,
Come on.
you're being placed under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder. Do you understand that?
I'm not put hands on anybody. She's gonna pat you down, okay? Right quick. Just put your hands up there. She's gonna pat you down.
Do you have anything on you? Have you had anything on you?
I don't.
In you? And they find it at the jail? You could be charged with it. Just understand that, okay?
The only thing I just have a police. That's all I have.
Okay, they'll take care of that. Okay, let me see your hands. I'm gonna look something real high, okay? You good over there? You guys moving? You guys small.
Following Chacey's arrest, Michael Garza turned himself in 2 days after Robert was shot. If investigators hoped to hear his version of events, they would be sorely disappointed.
How are you? Doing all right. My name's Michael Burke. I'm the detective from Roy City, okay? What's the up?
As soon as the detective gets Michael's handcuffs off, he reads him his Miranda rights.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to speak, tell me your side of the story, okay? We've already talked to Chacey. This is your opportunity to kind of say your side of the story, what happened, and we'll go from there. Speak with Tiny. Okay.
Michael Garza never did share his side of the story.
Damn.
However, some of his friends came forward and spoke with police, sharing what he apparently told them. They said that following Robert's shooting, Michael came directly to their house and made comments about and said that he was in big trouble. He also claimed that, quote, set me up. In his version of events, Michael told his friends that Chacey asked him to go with her to meet her husband that night. He says he brought his shotgun and drove in Chacey's Jeep together. He claimed that as they drove, Chacey said they were just going to kill them. Michael said that he got scared, got out of the Jeep, and ran into the woods. He claimed that when he heard a gunshot, he then ran all the way back to Quinlan. His friends were skeptical of this story, especially because he added that he saw the police lights as they responded to Chacey's 911 call, yet he'd apparently been running away at the time they would have arrived at the scene. As well, other evidence turned up. On October 17th, while harrowing a field near the back road where Robert was shot, a farmer came across something and immediately called the police.
That's the missing gun.
The firearm wasn't the only discovery made in that field.
It's gonna hurt us because it's inside out.
A balaclava is also found abandoned nearby. With Chacey's confession and this evidence, Michael Garza was convicted of first-degree murder for the intentional use of a deadly weapon and sentenced to 99 years in prison. Chacey Pointer, on the other hand, was convicted of first-degree murder for intentionally causing Robert's death and sentenced to life in prison.
And she didn't have no chance of parole, possibility of parole.
None whatsoever.
She was messy.
She definitely was. Like, why didn't she just let her husband would just take the child, maybe possibly go see the child from time to time, whatever like that, and just live your little fast life. Like you want all these you want all these boyfriends and stuff like that. Like, but no, you wanted to get the divorce. You wanted that man money. That's what it was.
Yeah, she wanted the benefits and all that stuff.
Yeah, and her child. You could have just left all that alone and just separate ways and live your life how the way you wanted to live your life with all them different men. Mm-hmm. You want to take somebody else's life because your selfish ways.
She caused chaos all over.
What?
Mama, stepdaddy.
All them boyfriends?
All them, like, golly. Crazy, man. Mm-hmm. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts down below, how y'all feel about this in the comment section. You know, we like to all get together and see what each other got to say, so drop them down below. Yep. Share the video with your friends. Share the channel with your friends, y'all. Y'all know how we go over here, man. Kickback game. We love y'all. We catch you on the next video.
Catch y'all next one.